So, if you raise your hands if you've got questions. Anybody questions? There must be some.
I want to know where the Thai cooking school is. Where's the Thai cooking school? What kind of programs are going on there? That's what we need.
Is it on? I don't think it's on.
Is it on?
We'll speak loudly.
Speak loudly.
Okay. Yeah, I can scream.
You don't need to scream.
I'm so happy to have the school going now because since we opened the restaurant in 2009, I always have in my business plan that I need to teach. Continue my teaching. I was a teacher in Thailand. I want to teach what I really love is cooking. So I want to share that, and then
But where do we go? That's my main question. Where?
But then now we have created the school office for this. So it's at in Langley, Fraser Highway, one-way street, and its number is 20542.
And we would find the information where, because that's what I need to know. What website do we go to?
And we have done now the website that you can register online, and we will also in the future work with school, and I want to and do that with school also. We got approached with the school district and stuff like that. So.
Great. Well, we'll look forward to hearing
the website
where that is.
BCD Academy.
Oh, BCD Academy.
Yeah, BCD Academy, and we have Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, so the mic doesn't work. Okay. No. So next question without the microphone. Tara. Loud, please.
First of all, thanks very much for the inspiring talks. I have a question because I was listening to everyone's talk and I was really struck by everyone's desire to promote love and healthy eating and community and family. But I was struck also by, sort of an unfair paradox in the sense that those very people that are trying to, especially in the restaurant industry, trying to share that with other people, often to be successful or just through the nature of the industry, often end up leading lives that don't have a lot of those things. Like they end up, I know cooks in the industry who work very long hours. They barely see their families, and they eat a lot of fast food. And so I'm just wondering how you kind of, are there any sort of ways of combating that kind of discrepancy between sacrificing yourself in order to help the public eat healthy or help the public experience joy with food, and then having yourselves have to sacrifice your families and your own health and your own diet and eating practices? I just thought I'd throw that out.
Is it fire ribbon?
Who wants to conquer that one?
I don't know.
To me, I am a self-admitted workaholic, volunteeraholic. I have volunteered for 20 years as a fitness instructor. That kind of gave me my balance, and for a lot of it, I also take a lot of vacations. I do not, and when people say to me, "Oh my God, you take a lot of vacations?" I work when I'm on vacation quite often, but to me it's great to be away and to learn more about other cultures. There has to be balance. Lately, I've been enjoying biking on my vacations because I cannot work when I've got my hands on a bike, and the only thing that I have to do that day is get to the place that I'm supposed to be at the end of the day, and it can't take me away. But it's just, I think you really have to keep fitness in your life, and you have to keep this is way past my bedtime. You have to try as much as you can to get a good hours of sleep. That's what I think.
I think it's hard to find balance in the food industry. I get a lot of applications, and one of my team members calls us restaurant rehab. It's hard to find that balance, and we get a lot of applications from people in the industry, things they would like to work because giving back and it's getting filled up at the same time. And because it's hard to do in this industry.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's very hard, long hours, everything, and you have to find a way. You have to, it's stressful also. It's very stressful. It's very, you want to please everybody. You try to please all the employee, the client, the customer and everything, and you put on yourself. But you have to find a way somehow to let that stress out, and then you have to, a lot of time you have, my husband here, and we have sometimes like, oh, I work too much, and where the time for the family and everything, you try, okay, you have to like, oh yeah, that's right, I need to sometime, maybe, okay, I have to reorganize and reschedule, and okay, maybe next day, maybe tomorrow I do this with family, and it cannot be perfect, but you do the best you can. I always find some time for myself or go to the gyms. When the husband at work, the kids to school, I have 1 hour for myself every day.
So I have never found the time to go to the gym. Weights are heavy. Yes, they are. I'd rather carry rolling pins. But you marry someone who loves to cook. That's what I did. So Nilesh loves to cook. His mom couldn't cook at all. So he said, he loved food, and so he cooks, and he's very structured in his cooking. So he's one of those guys. He has the luxury of working mostly out of the house because he's IT and all of that. So he has, structured breakfast. He prepares breakfast for me and my son every morning while I get him ready to get to school. And lunches, so we do meals, with the exception of today where I had noodles. Do not judge. But we have, home cooked meals, and we make sure that we have, fresh vegetables. My son eats spinach. He eats, raw out of the bag. He's 8. McKinney, so Project Chef is at McKinney. He knows about fish. He knows about black cod, ling cod, rock cod. You just learn how to eat good food when you're at home. You have to be able to make sure that you're stocked. If you need to go buy, Kins 4 times a week on your way back, they're open till 9. They're not like New Zealand where everything closes at 5:30. You go and you get stuff, and you get it going. When you have a kid, you're almost forced to get back into it. So I have to say, when he was younger and he was on less structured, like he wasn't eating what we were eating, that was tough. That was when I would just have cake all day. Because you were just at work all day. And what did you have? Cake scraps, macaron scraps, chocolate, it was just hard, I do admit. And in the food industry, we never really took breaks. We never really took lunch breaks. So you would have your breakfast, which was like half an egg and, whatever, a glass of milk or coffee, and then you would just go on for the entire day, and suddenly you'd be starving, and it's 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night, and then you eat twice the amount. So when we had the restructure in the kitchen, and suddenly we had a bigger space that we could enjoy baking and producing, I set my staff down and I said, look, so we're gonna have daily lunches. All of us are going to cook once a day for everybody. And they're like, no. We're going to do that once a week. Small steps, Shobna, small steps. And so I was like, fine. And since January, that's what we've done. And we all come from different cultures and backgrounds, so we all cook different things every Thursday. So every Thursday, we have a little grocery list. I kind of give them a ballpark, like $20, $25. And we cook a meal for everybody, and we just sit down and we share Instagram stories, some YouTube videos, and laugh about our parents.
Can we come for lunch?
Yes. Good. If you come by, she's come by on Thursdays. If you come by on Thursday, you can come around the greeting card pole, which is our security right now, and come to the kitchen for lunch. So we have kind of instilled that now, so to remind, I remind myself and my staff, take a break. Take some time to just eat some lunch, because that then fuels you and then you don't eat like a horse when you get home. So it is a tough balance though.
I have balance. I married a chef.
That's right, we did that.
But it was never so easy, because he ran restaurants. He worked 12, 14-hour days, and so did I. So our kids, so we had to make sure that we made lunch at nighttime. I always ask my kids, what do you want for lunch tomorrow? I always ask them a day ahead so that I would know what they wanted to eat, because there's nothing worse than to make something your kid don't eat. It's like the waste of time, right? So I would think about it.
And an insult.
He wants chicken, okay, I'll cook chicken. So my kids would go to school with these fancy lunches. Well, how come we don't, we're eating peanut butter and jam? I used to know this family, the kid, that's all he ate. And today he's 47. He goes, I eat my peanut butter, double layer peanut butter with a thick layer of jam in the middle every day. I said, how okay? For 47 years. Oh my God. I have my protein, my carbohydrate.
Yeah.
That's
my breakfast every day, is that wrong?
Yeah. He does it now still. He's a painter. That's all he eats. I go, I can cook something for you. No, I'm good with my peanut butter. I said, okay. Yeah, but it wasn't so easy. I always have to ask my kids what they want to eat first. It's never, he goes, Mom, you're gonna have to tone down on the food because everyone else is eating sandwiches and we're eating fried rice or we're eating chicken cutlets. It's kind of hard to eat this at school. Okay, let me think about it. But yeah, so, and then my kids are cooks, so everybody cooks so that no one can be starving. That's the way it goes.
Any other questions? Oh, no. Chris.
Just very basic, easy question for all of you. I've worked in fresh produce for the past 25 years, and the struggle is always getting people to eat more fruits and vegetables because it just seems to go on the side. So just one simple, quick idea of a fruit or vegetable you love and what somebody should do with it.
Great question.
Something really easy. Like, don't think too deep on it. Like right now I'm having grapes in a glass.
It's not a simple question. No. You know, when you go to the grocery store, like, I hate going to superstore, but I go because the array of selection that you could get for fresh vegetables. But when I come out of the check stand, it's like $300. Like, oh shit, how much is that? Oh, how much is that? I go, oh God.
Okay, let's simplify. Think about everything you looked on the shelf. Is there like, the first time I discovered how you can roast a garlic, like just the little simple things when it comes to a fruit or vegetable, something that you go like, aside from that shock of the $300 bill and everything else. Something where you're like, oh my God,
Japanese eggplant.
anything.
Japanese eggplant.
And what about it?
I roast it, a little miso with mirin mixed together, finish it in the oven, that's all I do.
Roasted eggplant, perfect.
Yeah. Spinach, garlic, olive oil.
Yeah.
Staple.
Yeah.
Easy. Kids eat it. And convince your kids that fruit is a snack.
Good point.
You don't need cookies. Comes from the pastry shop. But he has a whole other tummy for dessert. Fruit is a snack.
For myself, I'm always craving vegetables. So anything on the shelf is like, I can think of, oh, okay, I can do maybe Brussels sprout, carrots, or okra that I very love, and everything. I just try to make something that at home. I think now my husband like vegetable now, which is nice. And we cook like cauliflower, and then he makes the fried rice, but use cauliflower. It's very tasty, and it's very nice now. And just show the kids and the family that how it delicious is the vegetables. And I love vegetable. I grew up with vegetable.
We've been doing a lot with salads with what's growing in the gardens at the schools we're in. And kids don't eat salad, we're told all the time. So we tell them to taste every type of green. We have about a dozen different types of greens that go into it. Taste it as it's going in. Just taste it as it's going in. And they're shoveling this in their mouth, but then they won't eat it in the bowl. And I'm laughing my head off because they've eaten 2 servings of greens already. And it's the process. It's the process of eating while preparing. And if they don't eat it in the bowl, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They're trying it. They're eating it. Yeah.
Do you often find that the mother or the parents are the ones who influence the child's decision as to what they're eating when it comes to fruits and vegetables?
Oh, yeah, with one group, we did, it's true, the parent said we were doing roasted root vegetables with grade 3 class, we were studying root cellars, and parent curled up her nose at me like this, and she said, oh, they won't eat that. And I thought,
Maybe.
yes, they will. And so later on, they were voting on their favorite root vegetable in this, and I just looked over at the parent. It was all I could do not to go, yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah, they make it, they eat it.
Yeah,
That's the,
perfect.
I'm not sure I count on that. I'm not really a
Yeah,
chef, but I just, to me, getting things like fresh, you know, my husband loves cucumber all the time, and I don't want to have it unless it's right from the farmer's market, because it just lasts longer. It's, you know, delicious, and and tomatoes.
I work for myself. I work for, I will claim the fame is introducing kiwis to Canadians 25 years ago.
Oh,
Part of the team.
okay.
So I work in fruits and veggies. So I just work with retailers and growers and so forth, so. Thank you.
Over here.
Question for Barb. Do you have summer camps? I checked on your website, it's not there. I just
No, we do summer camps with Choices Market, and this is our 4th year with them, and I said we would do them with them if all profits go to the school programs, and if we can donate spots to families who otherwise couldn't do that. And it's been a very successful relationship. They handle all of the registration for it. It's on their website.
It's on their website.
So I go to Choices Market.
Yeah, I
because
think they're actually already full. But next year we're expanding on that. Next year we're expanding
Do you
on
only work with public schools, or do you work with?
We've only, being a teacher, I really have a commit. I've done work with independent and private schools, but the program itself, I feel committed to public schools. I want every child to have this. So right now we're only with the SB schools. Yeah. Yeah. But again, that long-term vision is beyond that.
Wow.
David?
This is a question for all of you. Have you guys ever had a point in your life where you think that your career or whatever you're doing is not working? And what are the things that keep you going?
Never.
I don't understand the question.
No.
All the time.
Because it's something that you've decided, this is what you're made for. You know, it's like, even though you don't agree with everything your parents say, and you're not that spoiled child, so they no, I'm not going to school because I hate it. It's because you have to follow your passion, because you're not working for your parents, you're not living for them, you're living for yourself. So you have to make that decision yourself to say, no, this is what I'm made to do. This is what I'm created for, make other people happy. That's it. Don't even hesitate to convince yourself otherwise, because it's not right. It's like putting on a pair of size 10 when you actually wear 12. You know what I mean? Yes, you and I
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that means. You just have to, understand that you're a size 12 and be happy about it, and create that path instead of trying to be a size 10. But no, I think it kind of boils down to, again, the 3 things that I hold dear to my heart, which is a commitment and to everything, commitment to the love that you have, and to follow through in creating your path. So the times that you're doubting yourself, and the times where everything is, you made all this money, Gypsy Unicorn kind of took off as a hot chocolate, we brought in all this, and suddenly the freezer's making a sound. And you're like, as soon as you call Key Foods, that's going to cost $500. There goes all the money from the Hot Chocolate Festival. Then what? So the minute you start thinking about all the things that can hold you down and can be in your way, you have to go back and recommit to why you did it in the first place, and recommit to who it is that you are serving, and recommit to the responsibilities that you have, and be accountable to what it is that you are building. So to me, I'm accountable to my family, I'm accountable to my staff, I'm accountable to my customers. I don't care that my mother thinks that, you know, I don't wear high heels to work. This is not her. I appreciate how much she's done for me, and I appreciate how tiger mommy she was with me as, you know, growing up, but that probably gave me the confidence to then go and find my own path. She might not think that, but I do, right? And my dad telling me to just stick it out because, you know, what will everyone else think? You know, that was the way he told me that, but in my head, it was now, not then. It's like, I love you. I want the best for you. Like, you know, why can't you see that? So when you think about all those things, you want the best for you too. So when you want the best for you, you have to commit to that and understand that just because the path is not straight and it's not right in front of you, does not mean that you need to give up. You just need to wiggle your way out and just try to find that little nuance that is going to, you know, steer you to what you are meant to do.
Yeah, for me, my life, you always enter that feeling that you have, like, oh, I think it's the end. I don't know where to go. But just step back, like you said, and look and see and think like, what is I really want and what make me happy and how can I do it? Can I commit to that? Can I, you know, put everything in, put every effort and be persistent and fight? And if you cannot answer that question, then like, oh, I don't know, I can do. But if you inside you said, yes, I can do that, I commit to that, I want it to happen, and just that you need to make it happen. And believe yourself and do it. And you don't, of course, like we kind of Asian.
Yeah, Asian parents.
Parents like that. So I basically all my whole life is, oh, can I do this? No, I don't think my parents like it. So I stopped. I put it on hold and I said, okay, I do what I want, and you know, you might probably the same. And it's so tough. You don't want to hurt the feeling at you know, your parents' feelings, and you want them to be proud of you and look up and have big face in the community and like, wow, my kid, you know. But at the end, you know how far, how long I come Canada, and then I figure out it takes time. It will have that moment for you that you can figure out yourself, and you want to do everything right for your family and everything, but don't forget what you want. So that's I think.
For me, it's easy. When I hit bumps and hit what seem like dead ends, I go back to do what I love to do the most. And I go in the classroom and I teach. And I can block everything out. Everything out and focus on what I love.
So for me, to be clear, I have my own company and the BC Hospitality Foundation. I am the executive director, but they've hired my company. So I also work with several different wine regions, several different wineries. I work on cornucopia. I've got a number of people that work with me as well. I have always wanted to own my own business, and always had a little bit of a doubt that it would happen, and that I could do it, and then I just kind of had to dive in there, and you know, it was full steam ahead. I think that if you are accountable to your clients and accountable to the people that you know that help pay your bills. I remember my husband saying to me, I was complaining that I'd done this great job with one of my first clients, and they didn't even thank me, and he said, well, they paid you, right? And I was like, that's the thanks that you get, right? And that was a hard one to come over, because you don't get your ego stroked very often when you're working for yourself, but it's, you know, you got to persevere, and you'll keep going forward.
Thank you. Other questions? Anybody back here? Questions? Okay. Well, actually, I always want to say one question, because Lynda was telling us a little story. We were at the front at the beginning, and it's you know, staffing is a big issue in Vancouver, especially chefs, people in restaurants. You have no idea what people are going through. I hear stories every single day, people telling me, how can I find a chef? And I'm like, good luck. But anyway, it's pretty much in Vancouver, it's good luck right now. But you have interesting stories, and I'm sure chefs, especially in your roles that you have now, you're leading restaurants, I'm sure you have very interesting stories of what happens when you have you're bringing a chef in, you want to, maybe you're going to test them out, or you're hiring them. Like, I hear stories where people, like, they'll apply for the job, and then the restaurant sets up the interview, and then the person doesn't show up to the interview, and then they call them, and somehow the phone is dead and they don't take calls. But you shared a very interesting story about you had one of your chefs and the newspaper. I think that was hilarious. So I think it's just great to end off on that note. If you could share that story with all of us, I think it was great.
We hired a cook. He's telling me how passionate he is about cooking, blah, blah, blah. And 2 years ago, he was in an accident. I said, oh, I'm really sorry to hear about that, right? But he didn't explain himself. So 3 weeks go by, and every day we're training him the same routine, because I don't get it. It's like, someone taught you something how to do it yesterday. How can you not remember it today, right? So 3 weeks go by. He's a really, like, adamant. He's always on time. He's there half an hour before work, has his coffee, reads the paper. But one day he went to get changed, so the paper's laying there, and I can't stand having it messy because I want the paper for the next guy to read, all in on page 1, 2, 3, all uniform, right? So I slapped the paper together, threw it back in the corner where it all goes. And he comes out, he's screaming at me in the restaurant, Lynda! I go, what? I look up, what? Because you threw my drugs out. I go, what? And I'm thinking, the only thing I could think about at that moment, no wonder he's not getting it. What drugs? Well, and then I thought, oh God, he is addicted to prescription drugs, because he was in an accident 2 years ago, and it's like slowly coming, telling me, get him out today. So I get him out today. So I go to my husband, I go, oh my God, dear, you're not going to believe what happened, what just happened. But we have, I got thousands of stories. I'm going to tell you one more. Nothing to do with when I was growing up, we used to watch the Ed Sullivan Show on TV, right? But many of you probably don't know who he is. But anyways, they always had Bob Hope on the show. So Bob Hope came to the tea house. So I had a phone call in the afternoon. Felix, the maitre d', he says to me, Lynda, Bob Hope is coming to the restaurant this evening. He would like to bring some crabs in, and can you cook it for him? Yeah, sure, I knew Bob. I used to watch him when I was 7 years old. Blah, blah, blah. So that at the end of the whole meal, I go out to the dining room because he wanted to meet the crab lady. Right? So I go out there and I have this speech what I'm going to say to him. I watched you since I was 8 years old, blah, blah. Well, when he opened his mouth, I couldn't open mine after that. He kept saying, you're the young lady who took the crab, because we were out fishing out in the Pacific Ocean for 4 hours, so we got these little crabs. We wanted to someone to cook them for us. They were so tasty, and I was just like, but. So nice to meet you. He was 92 at the time when I met him.
Wow.
I think he passed away at 94.
Yeah.
And he sent me all the pictures where he signed them for me. I thought, oh wow, how sweet. So I have him on the mantelpiece, and one of my relatives, which I never thought he would know who he was. Is that Bob Hope? I said, you're too young to know who he is. Yes, it is. You have a picture of him with him? I go, yeah. He ate at the restaurant. Blah, blah, blah.
That's funny. So I'm sure like every chef's got lots of stories, but these are great stories, and thank you for sharing them with us. Because a lot of times we don't get to hear these stories, right? You're watching something, you're in a restaurant, you're eating, you don't really know what goes on behind doors, but you probably don't want to. But there's lots of stories there. So, and it's been great to hear all of your stories tonight. From each of you, from all of your different, everybody's doing something different, but you're actually doing a lot of things to sing. Yeah. So I'm sure tonight you've actually met each other, and you'll meet each other, and you'll find that there might be some commonalities there. But anyway, thank you for everybody else for coming tonight. And we'll go with that right now. Good